This is the Lichtman Live post show, the greatest post show that's ever existed on the face of planet Earth. Thank you all for being here. You know, no one has provided me any evidence that this is not the greatest post show on the face of planet Earth. Just want to put that out there. Let's see who is here. Hello, Suzanne AP. Limited Light. President Khalidi. Abe, we are live. Or I guess you write it as live. Susie Garcia is here. Susan O'Brien is here from upstate New York. Trolls is here. Trolls in the house. Manny is here. That was my grandfather's name. Well, Emmanuel, but everyone called him Manny. Am I single? I am single. Blaze is here. Hey Sam, I loved your dad on Karen Hunter. I'm not. What is Karen Hunter? Love how natural you and your dad are together. A great dynamic that makes your show so enjoyable to watch. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. Good evening, Thomas Payne. Any predictions for the Ravens this year? I need them to win a Super Bowl. If they don't win a Super Bowl, it's a disappointing season for me. I look great tonight. Oh, thank you. Peace Mama says hi from Kansas City. Right after I talk about the Ravens, we bring up Kansas. Someone from Kansas City says hello. I'm just kidding. What happened to that girl who was always thirsting over Sam? I don't know. Hello, RM Bells. Sam, where did your dad go after the show? He doesn't go anywhere. He just goes and relaxes. Browns. Come on, bro. Let's get real, Thomas. Hello, Fuad. Fuad. My hair grows really fast. I know, it has grown really fast. Thank God. Fuad, okay, thank you. Do you think Texas could go blue for the 26th Senate? I'm not hopeful. Let's say that. Sam, your dad was interviewed on the Karen Hunter show on Sirius XM. Oh, right. He did mention that. He said he did some show on Sirius XM. Have you been watching any TV shows lately since I'm finishing up Mr. Robot? Not really, honestly. I've mostly been gaming recently, to be honest. Haven't really been watching much television. What will it take to flip New York red? That's not happening in the near future. Do I watch South Park? Not really. Not the biggest South Park fan. MSNBC is now MS Now. I did hear that. Kind of like, who cares, you know? What happens if this turns into an all-out gerrymandering war? Who do you think, Dems or MAGA, would win? My understanding is it's got to be done pretty quickly, and it seems like the only states moving on it are Texas and California. So I don't think it's going to be an all-out war. But if they don't pass some sort of national ban on gerrymandering, it could in the future for sure. Why do you say that New York can't be red? I mean, because it hasn't been red in a long, long time. I'm not saying it can't be. I'm just saying I don't see it happening anytime soon. Sam, is it bad that it bugs me how Latinos are left out of discussion of on the history of slavery? How else does someone like me, native to this hemisphere, have West African ancestry? That's a interesting point and a nuanced topic, and I don't know enough about it to comment on it. To be honest, I don't know much about Latinos and natives' involvement in slavery, to be honest. Who do you think will win the New York City mayor race? I think Mamdani's going to win. I don't think I've ever seen Gone with the Wind. What worries me is that we could end up like Venezuela, where even though the opposition party wins elections, they're disqualified by the dictator. That would be bad. California is voting on it in a November referendum. That is true. So we'll have to see what happens with that referendum. It won't count in the midterms? Are you sure about that? I'm not sure about that. What's my favorite cartoon character? SpongeBob. Hello, Daniel Ray. Sam, have you seen how out of control ICE is getting? One of their lawyers was found to have a legit white nationalist Twitter account. Yeah, ICE is scary. And I've been seeing videos, mostly on Reddit. I'm mostly on Reddit these days. I've been seeing a lot of concerning videos on Reddit of ICE on the streets. What do I think about the redistricting in California? It's an unfortunate thing that might have to be done. That's how I feel about it. What do you think of DC's destruction of homeless encampments? Look, I think homelessness is an issue that needs to be addressed, for sure. Homelessness is not good for the people who are homeless, and it's not good for the citywide population. It's just not a good thing. But the way the Trump administration is going about it is totally wrong. There needs to be some sort of mental health resources, drug addiction resources. If you're going to take these people off the streets, you have to rehabilitate them in some way, right? There's a Reddit called Eyes on Ice. Okay, I'll check that out. I saw that, Thomas. We talked about that in the show, the 55 million foreigners with U.S. visas being reviewed by the Trump administration. Crazy. Andrew Beard says, I live in Long Beach and I've seen Reddit videos of ICE tackling small businesses here. It's unnerving to see it so close to home. I just saw a video happening in Long Beach. Shout out to Long Beach. Spent some time in Long Beach. There was a guy in Yosemite who was arrested for showing a trans flag. Is that true? Have you seen The Ballad of a Small Player? I don't think so. Sam, next time you feel bad about California redistricting, remember that GOP could bring forward and pass a bill that outlaws gerrymandering, and they're not doing it. They want to cheat, not fair play. I agree with you. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, smash that like button, Suzanne. Thank you. I have not seen John Oliver's video about ICE, but I'll check it out. Tearing down the social safety net and affordable housing and increasing cost of living doesn't help homelessness. Very true. There's actually a book called Homelessness is a Housing Crisis, and it did a huge statistical analysis across the United States, and it looked at a bunch of different states, how high their poverty, homelessness rates were. It looked at, and then compared their, general statistics, crime, poverty, cost of living, all these things. And it wasn't the cities with the highest crime that had the highest or the worst homelessness problems. It wasn't even the cities with the worst drug problems that had the highest drug problems. The cities with the worst homelessness crisis all had a housing crisis, an affordability crisis. I'd recommend that book. Why do we always got to smash the like button? What about a love tap? Hey, I'm for a love tap too. Sam, what do you do besides YouTube? Are you a teacher? I am not a teacher. I have taught in the past, but I'm not currently teaching. I was working for the federal government as a public affairs specialist for the FAA, but I left that job. I mean, I left that job with a gun to my head, basically. So right now I am just doing YouTube. Where am I applying to jobs? Mostly in like the communications fields. Honolulu has a huge homelessness problem, but they are very aggressive in helping those get back on their feet. I have heard Honolulu has, and that's the thing, a place like Honolulu has a really bad homelessness problem because of their housing crisis. Same with Los Angeles, same with New York, same with San Francisco. Let's see if I can find this book. One second. Oh, I guess it's called Homelessness as a Housing Problem, not homelessness as a, what did I say? Housing crisis. And homelessness is a, let me zoom in a little bit. And homelessness is a housing problem. Greg Colbert and Clayton Page seek to explain the substantial regional variation in rates of homelessness in cities across the U.S. and a departure from many analytical approaches, shift their focus from individual experiences to the metropolitan area. Using accessible statistical analysis, they test a range of conventional beliefs about what drives the prevalence of homelessness in a given city, including mental illness, drug use, poverty, weather, generosity of public assistance, and low-income mobility, and find that none explain the regional variation observed across the country. Instead, housing market conditions, such as the cost and availability of rental housing, offer a far more convincing account. There you go. Good summary. You can come work with me, Sam, and manage all 50 states' Medicaid programs, rules, regulation, eligibility. Are you serious? I mean, email me. You look like your mom and have the brains of both parents. Oh, thanks, Justice. I appreciate that. Sam, what do you use to show your face on camera along with computer screen? I want to start streaming finance videos. I use OBS, which is a free software, streaming software. So I would download that and just look up some videos on how to use it and how to show your face and a screen. Very simple tutorials online about how to do that. Susie K is here. Susie K. Everybody loves Susie K now. Sam should set up a 13 keys dating app. That would be kind of interesting, actually. Aside from politics, are you a professional gamer? No, I'm actually not very good at video games, but I do like playing video games, and I do like playing them on stream. How old am I? I'm 33. There should be a dating app for anti-MAGAs. That's interesting. I think somebody, I forgot who it was, but someone did do a 13 keys to romance or something, or 13 keys to dating. Someone did do that. I do not watch the show Criminal Minds. Homelessness is a very complicated problem. Here in Maine, many of our homeless are stuck in the cycle of mental illness, drug addiction, and alcoholism, even though a man I know was offering housing. That's true. I don't deny that. And that was sort of my point about Trump's handling of this. They're kind of ripping people off the streets, but not providing any support to the underlying issues. Vladimir Plankton did the relationship keys. Shout out to Vladimir. Thank you, Fuad. Who do you blame for homelessness? The red or the blue or both? Both. I mean, I don't think there's been any real good policy around homelessness that I've seen in any red, blue state, etc. Do you believe Putin and Zelensky will be able to meet? Doesn't seem like it. I mean, we were talking on the show how Russia just did like their biggest attack in Western Ukraine yet. So other than Trump blabbing on about it, I haven't seen any concrete evidence to point out that there's going to be a meeting between the two. Are you ever going to move back to Cali? Maybe. It's definitely an option, but I haven't made any final decision yet. Fed Governor Lisa Cook is being threatened to resign, and I already see racist comments on CNBC. Zelensky is one of the most inspirational heroes in my lifetime. I definitely, from what I've seen, at least publicly, he seems very inspirational. Hello, Fry. I'm going back to Cali. That was a bad song for Biggie, because didn't he get shot in California after he made that song? Putin's dream of conquering Ukraine is to some degree rooted in anti-Semitism. I get that. I did see parts of the Channel 5 interview with Hunter Biden. Yeah, it did seem to have a bit of a positive effect on public opinion about him, at least. Gavin Newsom has gone scorched earth. I can see him and Kamala leading the charge for the Dems, but things change pretty rapidly these days. Certainly possible. Justice says, Trump angers me so much after the disgusting display on national TV with he and Vance bullying him to the latest phony support just makes me upset. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. Do you think Trump's kids will ever run for president? No, I don't think they'll ever get to that point. Maybe you'll see some running for governor, senators, but I don't know. I think Trump is one of a kind in that family. I don't know if anybody else can move mountains like Trump can. Sam, thank you for your attention to this matter. What matter? Which matter are you speaking to? I'm worried the next Republican nominee will be smarter than Trump, but missing the Trump charisma might be a huge detriment to any authoritarian ambitions. Yeah, at this point, smarter than Trump. I mean, I can't see it being much worse than what Trump is doing. We keep waiting for him to do something to lose his base rather than lose the independents and disillusioned Dems who just put him back in office. Does Gavin Newsom have charisma now that he appears tough and gruff? I don't know yet. Time will tell. I don't think we need to make a determination today on that. And we need a little bit more data and time and to make that assessment, I feel like. Thank you, Limited Light. He won't lose his base. If he didn't after the Epstein stuff, then he never will. Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I mean, like, did he lose any of his base for the Epstein stuff? Maybe a little bit. But yeah, I agree. It seems like they've already sort of forgiven him for that. For the most part. And especially within like the MAGA Trump media world, they've seemed to already forgive him for that. Well, thank you, Justice. What can we do about ICE and the homelessness? What can we do about ICE and the homeless? That's a really good question. ICE is one of the scariest forces out there right now. They essentially only answer to Donald Trump, it seems. They're getting more and more money. I don't know. I don't know. It's scary. It feels like ICE is a growing sort of snowball. It just keeps gaining momentum and size, and Trump and his administration have obviously strategically built up ICE and put all their focus in ICE because they know that they have the majority of control over ICE, and that's terrifying. I don't know what can be done. I mean, certainly local mayors and state government officials can try to fight back as much as they can with their own sort of laws and legal rulings, etc. Obviously, Congress is not going to step in. Maybe 2026 will change things at the midterms. What's your opinion of the crackdown of free speech in the UK? ID is required for social media. It seems like the government is trying to censor all dissent. I don't know a whole lot about what's happening in the UK, to be honest. Fix it, Sam. ICE and homelessness. Yeah, I'm on it. Don't say that, Cynthia. That's too depressing. Oh, thank you, Blazers. Thanks for everything you do, Sam, and thanks for bringing your pops to us live weekly. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Thank you, Blazers. How many countries have I been to? Let's see. I've been to Canada, Mexico, Costa Rica, England, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Czech Republic, New Zealand. Oh, I forgot this one. Japan? Is that 10? Something like that. Why didn't I count that one? Let me try again. Canada, Mexico, Australia, England, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Czech Republic, New Zealand, Japan. 10. Do you believe, as some have claimed, that ICE are wearing masks to conceal that they are Proud Boys? I have heard that, but I haven't heard that picked up from any like big national sources. And I feel like if that was confirmed to be happening, I feel like the national media would be jumping on that. So for now, I'm holding off judgment. I'm not saying that it's impossible that that's happening, but I haven't seen any wide confirmation of that. Rent control and more comprehensive mental health and substance use disorder programs can help with homelessness. I agree. Sam, do you believe we are still in a neoliberalism economic platform? I don't really know. I would have to look that word up a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to play around. I know some people online claim to be experts in everything and how they're... I don't really know. I'd have to do more research on that. Where did that Aussie come from? It came from the end of Blazer's donation. If they aren't Proud Boys, how did they suddenly become so openly crooked and anti-liberal? Well, because they're recruiting like crazy because they're getting so much money, and the people who want to join are Proud Boy-like people, you know? Will Republicans keep control of Congress in 26? I don't think so, but we'll see what happens with this redistricting stuff. The South Carolina newspaper has an article about an area of California trying to be its own state called New California. Which part of the state? Like north of San Francisco? I feel like I've heard murmurs of that in the past, but I feel like every new state idea has always never really come to become anything real. Would you ever become a journalist? I'd like to do documentary. I've thought about it, and I've worked in journalism a lot already, so it's definitely on my mind. Do you think we're in a progressive Tea Party moment? Maybe a tiny one. We need journalists more now than ever. That is true. Sam work for Fox News? Hell no. Well, how much are they paying? No, hell no. If I was to pursue journalism, I would not pursue it in a commentary or a like opinion-based way. Could definitely get a job with Midas Touch. I tried to get a job with Midas Touch. I emailed the guy and never heard back. Speaking of Ukraine, Trump ain't winning either foreign policy keys after completely botching them with that pathetic Alaska summit. Yeah, so far, at least, if the election was today, he would not be winning the foreign policy key. I think you can make good documentaries. Thanks, Justice. You will make millions at Fox, no doubt. Who do you email, Sam? What do you mean? ICE has a $50K sign-up bonus. Yeah, they're getting loaded with money. And after 2026, they're going to get even more money. You and your dad are some of the most fact-based political commentators I've seen. It's impressive. A lot of commentators get caught up in the drama and blood sports. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate that. How's the show going? Do you like doing it overall? Biggest like and dislike? I think the show is doing okay right now. The issue is, I think we're in the middle of August and numbers are lagging a little bit. Overall, I do like doing it. What's my biggest like with this show? I think just like the community and, the people we reach and the positive impact. My biggest dislike is just like always having to worry about numbers and views, and that can get a little bit draining. Who from Midas Touch did I email? I think the main dude, because I was in touch with him in the summer of 2024 because they were thinking about signing my dad. We ended up not doing that. And then after I lost my job at the FAA, I emailed him, Ben, I think, and heard crickets back. So I have heard of Destiny, yes. Fox News is a good place to work if you want to be surrounded by hot blonde women. I mean, I don't not want that. Thank you, Fuad. The Tea Party was a group of loser racists wearing hats with tea bags dangling off them. They lost steam after Obama won in 2012, but regrouped as MAGA. Really don't want to be a Dem Tea Party. I get that, Diego. I think your numbers will go back up during the midterm cycle. Yeah, they probably will. That's just a long ways away, Yeah, Ben. Yeah, that guy, Philip. Excuse me. What do you think of Governor Newsom's recent campaign strategy? I think it's pretty good. I think it's going well. Take your show to the people on the streets. What do you mean by that exactly? Like do a show literally on the streets? How do we get Wi-Fi? Oh, like a Jordan Klepper thing? I don't know. Truth, not tyranny. Ask questions, etc. I feel you, Diego. What do you think about ESPN Disney pricing now? Is $30 streaming is getting more expensive? This business model is sketchy as hell. It doesn't seem to be working well, and just slowly increasing prices I don't think is gonna save it. So I think the whole media landscape really needs to think about what they're doing, and it might not survive. I don't think in 10 years, when we look back at 10 years for now, the media landscape is going to look totally different. Do you know if the keys are going to change in 2028? I don't think, at least he hasn't told me anything concrete. He might be thinking about things in his head, but nothing concrete that he's told me. And that's $30 a month for the whole Disney streaming package, or that's just $30 just for Disney Plus. YouTube is killing it. It's beating Netflix now with views. Yeah, that's the thing. Is the business model of YouTube is so much better than these traditional media companies. What do you think about Starbucks closing 90 shops by the end of the year? I couldn't care less. I've never been a Starbucks person. We're still in the post-Wild West for the internet media age. They will inevitably monopolize and merge. I get that. I don't know if it's going to work, though, honestly. Disney Plus is $18 a month. Okay, so $30 must be for Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus or whatever. I had that package for a little bit. Dude, that package sucked. I mean, unless you're a 12-year-old, I don't know, Disney Plus doesn't offer much. ESPN Plus doesn't offer jack shit. And then Hulu is their original content is meh at best, in my opinion. have not tried that, Susie, but I'll look at that. Thomas Payne says, like, I didn't need +1 time to watch Hocus Pocus. When we talking about, I love Hocus Pocus. Don't get me wrong. I love Hocus Pocus. The thing about James, and I think Philip H. The thing about the merge is like, yeah, maybe that will happen, but I can't imagine it. They're just gonna recreate TV on the internet, and I don't know. Again, with competition from YouTube and TikTok and Insta and all this other stuff, I don't know if they'll be able to survive. I don't know. Disney Plus is good if you want to rewatch old movies, not much for original content. Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like their catalog, even of old movies, is like 90% for kids, you know? And then like the other 10% is mostly Star Wars and Marvel. And it's like, I don't know. There's just nothing interesting to watch on that. Sam, have you seen that Rogan and other influencers are pushing young men to Christianity? It's worrying that it's specifically Christian nationalism and not more benevolent variety. I haven't really been following that. I mean, I have noticed a bit that Rogan is talking more about Christianity, but Andrew says, this is my first time at the post show. It's been nice. See, I told everybody on Lichtman Live if they came, they would enjoy themselves. Andrew is proof. Agreed, Justice. Thanks, Susie. Susie K. Everybody loves Susie K now. Rogan is scheming to regain some of his lost viewers. Has he been losing viewers? I don't even know. My chatters needs a name. My chatters need a name. Okay, give him a name. Netflix was profitable when it was a bit of everything. When other services popped up and started making content, it killed the business model because it split the audience while draining revenue. Exactly, Diego. Hello, Melania. Melania Trump in the house. No, she's not Melania Trump. Just kidding. You think I should carry on Lichtman Live, Marcia? He's kind of, he is kind of the main talent. Midas Touch has been beating Rogan for a while. Rogan's no longer at the top spot. I did hear that. That is true. Green is a good color on you. Thank you. Yes, this is green. I don't know. The thing with Rogan is like at a certain point, I feel like his audience, unless they're just totally blindly listening to him and not critically thinking at all, if they're critically thinking at all or like double checking on some of the stuff he says, eventually you have to realize that this guy is just spewing mostly bullshit, you know? And it's so ironic because he's, I've just noticed that he has been, hi Kiko, in his more recent career, he's been so critical of experts and the truth. And it's like, bro, if someone was to analyze the shit you've said in your podcast, I guarantee you have said thousands of things that are blatantly not true or misleading or, and I think at a certain point, again, if you're thinking critically while listening to him, at a certain point, you have to just be like, roll your eyes and be like, this guy is just, look, if you want to listen to him for entertainment, that's fine. But beyond that, I think his show is pretty useless. The chat could be called the Black Raiders. Why is that? People want to listen to their own worldview. They won't let simulation of reality they create in their minds be challenged. They don't want to be fact checked. I don't get that. I always loved learning and challenging myself. Like, that seems so boring just to like listen to the same thoughts that are already bouncing around in your head. Like, that seems so boring. I don't get that. I mean, maybe I've caught small snippets of the Rocky and Bullwinkle show when I was a kid, but I haven't ever really sat down and watched it. It gives them comfort. Why bother doing hard things like thinking? Thinking is not that hard. I don't get why people are like, thinking is so hard. It's like, it's not that hard. It's stimulating. It's interesting. I find it sort of calming. Like, if I'm watching something or reading something that's like stimulating me, I feel a sense of like, sort of like calm, and like I'm so hyper focused, like the world melts away. Like, I find it relaxing. I don't get this idea that you have to watch something. And don't get me wrong, I'm perfectly fine with brain numbing stuff, but I know it's brain numbing. That's another thing. It's like, I'm aware that if I'm watching something brain numbing, it is that, right? I don't understand why people watch stuff that reinforces their own ideology, but then thinks it's real or the truth. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Same reason some people like golf, some like reading, some people don't enjoy learning. We're built different. Yeah, I guess so. These Roganites also seem gullible and uneducated, honestly uninterested in learning, just feeding their hate and bias. I guess so. That seems like a pretty miserable existence to me, but what do I know? Hang in there, limited light. And it's like, even when I do watch stuff that it reinforces a lot of my own political ideology, like someone like, if I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch someone like Brian Tyler Cohen, or who's the Argentinian guy? Why am I blanking on his name? Whatever. Like, I'm not sitting there being like, every word this person says is truth and gospel. Like, I take everything they say with a grain of salt. Pac-Man, yeah. And it's not, I've never even really thought that critically about it. It just feels like, yeah, of course, a person on the internet might be not the greatest source of it. You know what I mean? And I think those guys are generally pretty accurate, and are much more accurate than Joe Rogan. But yeah, I just don't get how people don't even think to be like, hey, maybe I should think twice about what Joe Rogan is saying, or not take every word he says as being true. True, Gail, that is true. '26 and '27 will be a true test where We deviate from Biden economic policies to Trump's. We will eat costs of tariffs long term as economists agree. Yeah, I agree with you, KCTB. Brian Kelly Cohen is an amateur bodybuilder. Is that true? He looks pretty skinny to me. The art of discussion must involve questioning. I agree with you, Susie. And again, not like Tucker Carlson questioning, where you're questioning to, or Charlie Kirk questioning, when you're questioning to, or Hassan Piker questioning, when you're questioning to move everybody to your political ideology or your point of view. Questioning that is open and part of a good faith thought process. Brian Tyler Cohen used to be a personal trainer, but I hadn't heard about bodybuilding. Yeah, he does look pretty fit. He looks like a fit dude. Is he gay? I have no idea. I don't know if he's ever talked about that publicly. Oh, he lives with his girlfriend. There you go. There's your answer. Cynthia says, you can tell I've done my research on the topic. Okay, Cynthia, I see you, girl. It's crazy people think the mainstream media is skewed left when I haven't heard a journalist give Trump an interview where they hold his feet to the flames in at least 5 years. To me, it's just crazy that, like, look, there's independent studies that and institutes that rate media. Like, just look that up. And, like, don't just believe Joe Rogan where he's just like, and Charlie Kirk, and all media is, but there are statistical analysis of media, and you can look up which ones are on which side of the spectrum, and then plan accordingly. If you want to hear both sides, listen to whichever one is analyzed as the left and which one is analyzed as the right. Or if you want to stick to the center, it's all analyzed. It's not like it's a big. That's another thing I don't really get. It's not this big secret, or like Joe Rogan has the answers to what the media. It's like this is all common knowledge. I know. Good point, the Gale. Reality is often more boring than we think. I agree with you, Andrew. Yeah, I think Destiny is a good debater, but he does seem sort of problematic in a lot of ways. So Maxwell, where is she at now? Isn't she in some like prisoner sleepaway camp or something? Mehdi is the best debater. Mehdi's a pretty good debater, that is true. The Bulwark has a lot of good hosts. The Bulwark, like, I don't remember who it was, but the Bulwark really, like, went in on my dad, and that sort of pissed me off, so I don't really listen to the Bulwark. Should media that is pure lying be blocked online? No, probably not. It feels like, sort of like, how do you actually enforce that or assess that? You should have your dad on your show. He likes to go and chill after Lichtman Live. He doesn't want to keep being a lot. He doesn't want to keep being on, you know. Sam, I didn't know about the Bulwark. Sorry. I mean, yeah, it's no reason to be sorry, but I don't know. I just don't. They were so like, it was two guys. I'm trying to think. Let me see if I can find it. They were just so annoyingly like pompous and condescending, and it's like, chill the fuck out, dude. This.
Now we got to go help people customize.
We got big news in the world of politics. I know
Huge.
You're real excited for this.
Yes.
We have an official winner in the 2024 election. It's already over. It's already over. Allan Lichtman has pronounced.
Like, you can tell just from the jump they're being so just little shitheads, you know what I mean? Like, chill out, dude.
Announced the keys have been trued and falsed.
Today, Allan
Like, yeah, they're just being assholes.
Lichtman's ready to tell us who's going to win in 2024.
It's such the whole thing is very funny.
He's turned the keys.
The race was tight, but the keys were right.
JBL, what has happened to get you in a tizzy this morning? Because I wake up and there's about a dozen messages in the Slack from you and Tim Miller that your enemy Allan Lichtman has resurfaced. He went away for a little bit, but his keys are back. What's going on?
Like, why is he their enemy? I don't even get it.
Not my enemy. Let me just say this up front. I am sure that Allan Lichtman is a lovely guy. He's 77. He has lived this enormous big life. You know, he's a good Brooklyn kid, went to Stuyvesant High School in Brandeis, and he was a phenomenal athlete, ran track and wrestled in college, and got his PhD from Harvard, went on Tic-Tac-Doe. Do you remember the game show Tic-Tac-Doe? I think it was the 80s.
His name is Dr. Allan Lichtman. To date, in a tremendous display of broad knowledge and good luck, he has defeated 16 opponents and has amassed in cash and prizes a total of $75,050.
Come on over, let's beat the dragon.
The dude had a stash and this beautiful, beautiful hair, just a mane of hair, like Ron Burgundy. And, won himself $100,000 on a TV game show. I'm sure he's great. So not my enemy. It's just that he does this thing with like chicken bones and dice that he has sold to desperate Democratic voters as science. And it is the political equivalent of like, if you wear this little necklace made of garlic cloves, the bad orange man can't hurt you. And I just
Yeah, I don't feel like watching these guys anymore. But yeah, after seeing that, I was like, yeah, fuck the bull. I never even watched them to begin with, to be honest. But yeah, they're annoying. Exactly. Who were those guys? I don't know. Two commentators on the Bulwark. It's a statistical model. How's it not science? Good question, Philip. I don't know where they get these things of like, oh, you might as well wear and Hassan said the same thing. It's the equivalent of like, a puppy putting his paw on the winner of a football game. It's like, where are you guys getting this from? You have to remember the Bulwark is made up of conservatives, but they can't stand Trump. That's an interesting point that I haven't thought about. I don't know. I've never engaged with any Bulwark content that I've been like, I want to watch this again. And this whole idea, like, oh, my dad is selling this copium to blue voters. Again, this weird sort of rhetoric and this line that all these online content creators keep using about him. It's like, dude, he's predicted just as many Republicans as he has Democrats. I don't know where this idea started that he's just doing this to, make blue voters love him. Like, it's literally contrary to just the facts of his predictions. Yes, he did, Diego. And he predicted Reagan. He predicted HW. But I mean, it's literally like 2-3 seconds of research could show you that they're full of shit, First time I ever watched you both was on election night. Wow. What a night. Exactly, Colidi. I agree with you, the Gale. Will he predict the next election? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think he even has an answer to that yet, to be honest. Hello, Nathan. And like the thing is, like, this idea, like everybody portraying him as Nostradamus or like this magician who is like, that's mostly generated by the media, not him. And like, I've said this a million times, even if the prediction system is 100% accurate, 90% accurate, 50% accurate, it's still an interesting way to think about politics. And when you just automatically dismiss it as this like voodoo magic, it's just, again, it shows no understanding of the system at all. We need to play some Sims. I haven't thought about the Sims. I don't know. I maybe I should watch some like videos. I just feel like I'm jumping into a dark lake. I don't know. I haven't played Sims in like 20 years, probably. Exactly, Joe. And it's like guys like this, they're so critical. Again, it's an interesting way to think about politics. And what do? They sit in front of a chair and just blabble about a horse race politics all day. It's like, bro, what you're doing is a lot less interesting than I think the keys, regardless of their accuracy percentage, Oh, Nathan, I'm glad your jaw is starting to feel better. Shout out to Nathan. The guys at the Bulwark probably predicted Kamala would win too. Good point, Cynthia. Do you consider 30 to 35% to be a super low percentage? I guess it depends the context. I mean, if 30% of people are purple, I feel like that would be a pretty remarkable stat. If 30% of people are murderers, I feel like that'd be pretty remarkable. 30% of people have hair, that would be less from, you know what I mean? So like, depends what you mean by low. Good point, Susie. Exactly. I'm not the biggest fan of Majority Report. I'm not the biggest fan of Sam Cedar. I agree with you, Andrew. I still don't really get it either. You think I would like Richmond? I've been to Richmond once. Didn't really move me, but I was only there for like a day. What's wrong with Cedar? Nothing's wrong with him. Sometimes he just comes across as a little bit of like a smarty pants know-it-all. And I feel like some of their content is a little like left rage baity, which feels a little annoying. Oh, I assumed he was talking about Richmond, Virginia. I don't know where Richmond, California is. Sam Cedar has been incredibly instrumental in the left's march to the left. The left's march to the left. Left's march to the left. They're already left. You don't want to know where Richmond, California is? Why, is it a bad place? Lydia, I see you spamming that message. I don't have an answer. I don't know. It's pretty rough. Is that Bay Area? Richmond? Sam, I'm a director of communications for a woman running for state assembly in New Jersey. In a plus 30 red district, we're hoping to flip it. Will the keys work on legislative races? No, probably not, unfortunately. Because again, they are science-based. It's not chemistry, but they are socially science-based. So they're based on past elections, right? And past presidential elections. And state legislature races don't follow that pattern, most likely. I like Sam Cedar, and his snark and smugness is his shtick. I agree with the left rage bang. I mean, I totally. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch him or you shouldn't enjoy him. Do your thing, you know. Trump has entered the chat? Huh? We need to play some Spider-Man? Man, I totally forgot about Spider-Man. I don't know why, but the Miles Morales one kind of bored me, and I haven't played that probably since I played it on stream. What's my spirit animal? My mom once told me what my spirit animal was, but now I can't remember. I feel like it's either it was either a shark or a pack of horses. Yep, pack of horses. I'm too cuddly looking for a shark. Yeah, probably. South Park destroyed ChatGPT this week. Oh, did they? What was their critique? I've noticed now people are like starting to be like clankheads or something. I've seen that a lot online now. People being like, "Oh, fucking clankheads." How do you find out your spirit animal? You got to do like a journey or something with like beating drums and stuff like that. Clankheads, what's that? I think it's like a derogatory term for AI. Like someone's pissed at ChatGPT, they'll be like, "Oh, fucking clankhead." I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I didn't know it was that serious. I just thought your spirit animal was just an animal you share a characteristic with. Yeah, it can be just that. It doesn't have to be that serious. We got AI slurs now. Yeah. Oh, people who use ChatGPT for everything are clankers or clankheads. So it's not the AI itself; it's the people obsessed with it. Is that what you're saying? Randy Marsh starts microdosing ketamine and using ChatGPT to save his weed farm because ICE took his workers. Clankhead is a Star Wars reference they called droids clankers. Right. So that's why I thought they took it from Star Wars and now they're using it to like derogatorily talk about AI. My spirit animal is Jasmine Crockett. Is that racist? At first I was like, that's funny. And then I was like, wait, is that racist? My spirit animal is atheist redhead females. That's funny. If I was if I was to pick my own spirit animal, just like off of an animal like Cynthia says that I like and sort of bond with or feel a relationship to, what would be my spirit animal? Maybe I don't know. Who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? I sure hope the Baltimore Ravens. What animal do I most feel a relationship with. I mean, that's tough. I have cat vibes, really. I don't know if anybody's ever said that before, that I have cat vibes. But hey, maybe I have cat vibes. Your dad would be an owl because he's wise and has great hair. Actually, that's a good one for my dad. I agree. My spirit animal is 70s Allan Lichtman. I like that one. My spirit animal should be Sasquatch. That's an interesting one. A dragon, that's a pretty badass one. I don't know why I can't think of mine. I'm unpredictable and sometimes I purr. I'm a wolf? Nah, I don't really feel like I'm a wolf. I've never purred, Cynthia. They're just saying a bunch of bullshit. Why can't I think of a bear? I feel like I kind of do feel like a bear, but like the stereotype of a bear and not the reality of a bear. You know what I mean? I think bear is probably the one, because I like to wrestle, I like to goof around, I'm goofy, you know. I wouldn't say I'm a teddy bear. I'm like the stereotype of what you think a bear is. Not like an aggressive, fierce animal, but like goofy, big, you know. Definitely not a tiger. I don't feel like a tiger. How tall am I? I'm like 6'1" or 6'2". Yeah, I like bears. I do like bears. Exactly, Kev. That's what I am. We can take a quiz. All right, I'm gonna take a quiz. Oh gosh, yeah. BuzzFeed usually has decent quizzes, right? All right, what's your spirit animal? Pick an indulgent food. Pizza. A big salad. I'm on a diet. What? That's not indulgent. Burgers, sushi, candy. So I'm pizza. Pick a movie genre. Action adventure. Let me zoom in a little bit. Action adventure, romantic comedy. I hate making decisions. TV doesn't own me. Something with a lot of parties. Award winning. Yeah, that's me. Pick a type of art. Postmodernist expressionism. I do like postmodernist. Finger painting. Anything in museum expo, whatever's in front of me. Massive statues. Pop art. Postmodernist expressionism. If you're back in high school, pick your clique. I guess one of these. I get along with everyone. My friend. I get along with everyone. Do you believe in true love? It's out there and I'm looking for it constantly. Love is a battlefield. It is better to have loved and lost than never loved at all. No, only in my dreams. Yes, because I've seen it. I'm going with tis better to have loved and lost than never loved at all. Which one of these is your favorite song? Ruby Tuesday? I'm not sure. Wednesday morning, 3 a.m. Friday, Manic Monday, Lazy Sunday. I don't know these songs. I'm going Lazy Sunday. I'm a hedgehog. That's kind of close to a bear. I like this. I'm a hedgehog, guys. Shout out to hedgehogs. Perfect. I kind of got spiky hair now, too. Boom, there you go. Problem solved. Now, what kind of animal is a hedge? Is it like a type of bear or rodent, or what type of animal is a hedgehog? It's a mammal belonging to the family Ericandae. Erinaceidae. What's Erinaceidae? Oh, it is a rodent. Or is it not? I don't know. I mean, there is a mouse in this. It's like an evolved mouse. They make great pets, really? I didn't realize that. They're pretty cute. I'll take it. Like, look at this one. Oh, that's freaking cute. Can I share the link to the quiz? Yes. What the frick? There's the link to the quiz. I'm just gonna keep this cute hedgehog up for a little bit. You were raised by a crow? What? Do rodents get a bad rap? That's what I'm wondering. Like, I know people are like, oh, they spread disease and they're dirty. But, like, don't all animals spread disease and dirty? Or am I wrong about it? Are they, like, particularly dirty in spreading of disease? Are rodents particularly dirty and spread disease? Or do all animals do that equally? In short, all animals, including rodents, can spread disease. However, rodents are considered particularly important in disease transmission due to their combination of factors, not solely based on their inherently dirtiness. They have a reservoir for multiple pathogens. Their ability in close proximity to humans. Multiple modes of transmissions. So it seems like maybe they are sort of slightly uniquely disease spreading. Yeah, rats in homes is a no-no. James got a sloth. A Shiba Inu is a spirit animal. That's pretty cool. I feel like Shiba Inus are cool. President Clay says, I'm a crow or raven. Here, RM. I'll put the test back in the chat. There. Oops, I just opened Photoshop by accident. Oh, someone else got hedgehog. No, some people got other stuff other than hedgehog. What do people think about Labubus? Like, that feels to be like a big thing, like Labubu. Like, everybody's obsessed with these little dolls. I don't really get it. Like, I mean, I guess they're kind of cute, kind of interesting, but like, let's do a poll. Are you into Labubus, yes or no? Are you into Labubus? I guess in my day, everybody was into Beanie Babies, but I wasn't even that into Beanie Babies. Even though I was a kid. I feel like crows are kind of mean. You took the test, but it didn't give you an answer. That's weird. Wow, 89% of people in the chat are not into Labubus. Only 11% are into them. No, I didn't give my email. No, you don't have to give your email address. Labubus are the modern day Monchichi. Monchichi. These are worse, I feel like. These are kind of frightening. The Labubus at least feel a little bit like sort of artistic or something. Aaron Bells is a kitten. Interesting. Kitten Bells in the house. Kitten Bells in the house. Did you ever watch Biker Mice from Mars? I've never even heard of that. Huh. Biker Mice from Mars. These aren't really ringing a bell, to be honest. Is there a point in owning DVDs anymore? I own DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff. I think so, because like I feel like now if you want to watch a movie, well, one it's just for collecting, and two, like I don't know, I feel like if you want to watch a movie, it's so hard to find now, so owning it just gives you easy access to it. And like, you know, like I like to share them with, for like if a friend comes over, like, oh, let's watch some of my movies, and you know, and I just own it. I don't have to worry about streaming it or renting it or. Have I seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, like the Nickelodeon show? I've seen the Nickelodeon show, yeah. And to me, like DVDs are easier to lug around than books or vinyls. Video quality seems better streamed. What do you mean? Like vinyl, I had vinyls for a little bit. Those shits are heavy. And books can be lighter, but hard copies can get heavier. I've never really seen any Rob Zombie movies. Plus, if you buy the digital access and the distributor loses the license, you lose the film. Yeah, exactly. I would say if you're not like a big film buff, it's probably not worth it. But if you are, it's worth it. I mean, disc games. Disc games, I don't feel like I need to own disc games. Because like they become so irrelevant so quickly. Pretty much everything else I digitize. I digitize music. I digitize books with my Kindle. I digitize games. The only thing I really have physical media for is movies. I do like the album art on vinyls. That is true. I recently sold all my vinyls. Like, I was a little sad about it, but lugging those around, they're just so heavy. And I don't know, like the listening experience, unless you have like a really expensive audio setup, and you always have to like flip the disc and get up and like, I don't know. Spotify is just, more convenient. It's like you can literally listen to anything. Where it's like movies, like, because, you know, and a song is 5 minutes at, you know, at most. But like, like a movie, like, it's like your night. A whole night is one movie. You know, like a whole night is not one album. You know what I mean? Or one song, or. There's a community online that legit collects sealed games, consoles, and gaming. Oh yeah, I've seen some crazy collections, gaming collections. But like that's for people who, like, again, they're gaming enthusiasts. They want to have a piece of, you know, collectible history. Isn't Trump a lot like Anakin? I don't think so. Don't support Spotify. They rob artists like me of royalties we're legally entitled to. I get that. I totally understand that. But like at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It's like you can't reject technology. Like the world is going to move in the direction. Like it's like I remember when people were like, save taxi drivers. It's like, yeah, I guess, but like maybe the taxi drivers just need to evolve, you know? One second. All right, folks. I'm dipping out. An hour and a half. Wow, that's a long post show. I appreciate each and every one of you. You're American heroes. You're heroes of whatever country of origin that you come from. Oh, what's the poll at? 85% say they're not into Labubu's. 15% say they're into it. That was my girlfriend. That was not my girlfriend. I've said I don't have a girlfriend. Good night, Tim, President Khalidi, Cynthia, Marcia, the Gale, Andrew Beard, It's Not a Booty Call, Fry, KCTB, Everett, Diego D, Susie K, Smell the Flowers, Thomas Payne, Tashdeed, Everett. Did I say Everett already? No. RM Bells, thank you all. Good night.